today's the day. So I'm here in Orlando, Florida. I have just arrived to the training center, the Canine Companions for Independence Training Center, and just unpacked and am putting things in my drawers. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about sort of why I chose Canine Companions and sort of the differences between dogs that you might train on your own or privately and dogs that you get from organizations. I decided to get a service dog when I was 8 or 9 years old. I went to a conference in Orlando, funny enough, and they had a team come over and they talked about what you could benefit from getting a service dog, and I thought it was really cool because I really like dogs, and sort of convinced my parents that I needed a service dog, and spent about a year trying to show that I was ready for taking care of a dog, because service dogs take a lot of care. And after that year, or a little before that, we started the process to get a service dog from CCI. Now, there's a couple different options. You can get it from an organization, or you can get it from a sort of privately run training group, or there's a couple of varieties of ways that you can go about it. And, you know, the great thing about going through an organization is that this organization has a long history of training dogs. CCI in general is one of the oldest organizations that provides service dogs for people with physical disabilities. And I love that they have this tracking method of sort of they interview you to make sure that they know what you want. They breed their own dogs, and the dogs start training when they are very young, and these puppy raisers will train them in the home for several years, and then they'll go on to go to advanced training. And a lot of the bigger organizations sort of do it in this method. And so, you know, I really like that they have a method, and I like that they also have you train on campus, and you're able to sort of work with them to discuss issues and training methods, and discuss sort of tricks that you might need that would help you in your everyday life. And then after you graduate, they spend time with you to make sure that they provide sort of follow-up training. You go about every 3 years to talk to the trainers, go through a public access test, and that allows you to talk to them about any issues you might be having with your dog. And then they also have a line that you can call if you're having any issues as well. So I really like that they have a follow-up. Some organizations might not have as much. So my suggestion, if you are looking at organizations, just look to see sort of what type of follow-up you can get, what type of training you can get. I had thought about maybe trying to train my own dog after I had gone through 2 service dogs through CCI, and really decided against it just because when you get a dog, you just don't know how trainable it will be and how well it will do out in public spaces. I know that dogs through CCI, even though they breed their dogs for service dog work, only about 50% make it through the program. So it's really a roll of the dice on whether your dog will be able to manage and cope being a service dog. And since I live in DC, I live in a very chaotic environment. I get off the metro a lot. I'm in very crowded areas, very loud areas, and so I just trust the process that CCI does, and so decided to go with CCI again.
The great thing about CCI is that a lot of the training centers have a dormitory for you to stay during team training. And I wanted to show you what my dormitory looks like. It's got a couple of beds, one of them which can be propped up, and it's got your own fridge and an external door that goes to the parking lot, and then it's got your own bathroom, and it's got a handheld shower, handrails, and a sink that you can pull under. Another cool thing is that at the Southeast region, I got a cool little blanket that a volunteer gave me, and I really like it. It's a great place to stay for 2 weeks.
So what do you bring to a 2-week training? So what I brought with me to my 2-week training is quite a few things to keep me warm, because they tend to keep the training areas a little cooler. It helps keep the dogs from getting too stressed out. So here's a jacket. I brought 2 hoodies, and then a lot of comfortable sort of things that I can wear throughout the day, just because we're going to be sitting a lot. I brought some workout clothes. I'm hoping to get out and do some workouts. We'll see how that goes. Brought 2 pants sort of that I can get a little more dressier with. Of course, pajamas, some nicer shirts. Brought a skirt. That's for graduation. You want to bring, if you're going to the CCI, you're going to want to bring 2 sets of nice clothing. One for a sort of brunch thing that you have with, I believe the puppy raisers are there. And then the graduation. So I brought 2 of those and some nice shirts for when we go on field trips, because there's going to be a couple of field trips that we go on with the dogs. Then I also brought several shirts. These are sort of 3/4 sleeve, so I can take them off, take my sweatshirt off during the break time when we're not in the training facility, but also, you know, have a little bit of layers on. And then some t-shirts. And then I have my laptop, of course. Hopefully we'll be able to do some work while I'm here. 2 weeks is a long time to be away from your work, so hopefully I'll be able to get some done. And then, of course, I have the team training guide. And the team training guide, interestingly enough, this is my 3rd version that I've gotten. I It started, I believe, when I was like, I got my first dog, I believe, when I was pretty young. Maybe 10 or 11, I think, is when I got my first dog. And it was in a 3-ring binder that was about this thick. And it just had a bunch of different articles put together. And then my second one was about this thick, and it was much more well put together, and it had dividers in it, and that was pretty cool. But this version here, as you can see, it's much more professional, much more put together. So it's always interesting to see the things that have changed since you've last been in training. So I am getting my third dog from CCI. So I hope you're going to go on this journey with me. I will try and vlog a couple of times throughout training just to give you updates. I can't talk about dog names or what type of dog I'm getting just because of rules that CCI has. I will talk about sort of what the training involves and what we do during the days. I am about to go to the grocery store so that I can get some food. CCI is great in the fact that we get meals for lunch, but we have to be able to feed ourselves for breakfast and dinner. So I'm about to go over to Trader Joe's and grab a few items. But if you have any questions for me or anything like that, feel free to comment below, and I will try to answer your questions in the next blog. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.